Hey guys, and welcome back to the Behind the Plate podcast brought to you by 1IQ Sports. We're back. Merry Christmas. Almost. Maybe. I don't know
Happy
what I'm gonna
holidays. Merry Christmas, all of them.
All of them. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. It's all the holidays.
Mhm.
I'm Will. That's DJ. We're going to have a 45-minute to an hour bitch fest about the Blue Jays, but first we got to recap some of the moves pertaining to the AL East. Yankees got Fried, Bellinger, Williams. They got someone else, and I'm blanking on who it is.
The Orioles got O'Neill.
Rays got Jansen and Jimenez. Red Sox got Crochet. I think that's it. Oh, and Chapman. The Yankees got a fourth person, but I don't remember who it is.
Wait, who'd you say?
They got Bellinger. They got Fried. They got Williams. Who'd they get from the Reds? They got it was Alex Jackson and a Cruz.
Okay, I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't fully remember. It's been a minute. We've been dealing with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
It's not been fun. We did sign Yemi Garcia. We did acquire the best defensive second baseman in all of baseball in Andres Jimenez, who I actually genuinely think I'm going to enjoy a lot more. Like, I was looking at some of the stuff. I'm kind of okay with this deal the more I look at it. And then Nick Sandlin came in that deal, and Sandlin's a fucking beast. They got two bullpen pieces, which was really good. They got a couple minor league signings that I don't really want to talk about. And then Jimenez, I know people are pissed because of his contract. I am too. I don't like the contract, but I think we're going to enjoy him. I think they're going to see a little bit more offensive production out of him. I'm not talking like all-star level. Like, I'm talking league average offensive player. Yeah. But that's going to be a 5-WAR player defense alone. Yeah. So now you got a Dalton Varsho in the infield and a Dalton Varsho in the outfield. It makes sense if you attack for a ground ball pitcher, Corbin Burns. But then the other week it was like, oh, the Jays are interested in Nick Pivetta. And that's great. Pavetta's amazing, Canadian kid. But it's such backwards thinking to acquire a defensive-minded second baseman to go sign a pitcher who gives up fucking home runs left and right.
Yeah.
Like, you can't defend a home run. So I don't think they get Pivetta because of that reason alone.
I mean, at this point, I don't know who we get and who looks at the Blue Jays seriously and not just for, just to get more money, because that's literally all we've been this offseason is like, okay, let's use the Blue Jays front office that are just complete and utter idiots as, bait. Let's get my salary up tenfold. Because they clearly just see the good players that have titles next to their names. And they're like, oh, that's a good player. Let's offer them a ton of money. Everyone else and every good option after that, let's just forget about it. I don't mind the trade also. Yeah. Who the fuck cares about a bad contract? We're in the MLB where fucking salary obviously doesn't matter. The Dodgers have made that very clear. Why the fuck should it matter to us? It's a good deal. But does it make us contenders with everyone else going off the board? Absolutely not.
Yeah. I remembered the signing. It's Paul Goldschmidt to the Yankees and then Walker Buehler to
the
Red Sox. I forgot about that. Washed up MVP. Two of them. Like, what the fuck? I will say I do like that they sold high on Horwitz. That was like the one move I was clamoring for all offseason was to trade Spencer Horwitz and just get anything back for him. I don't think he's got the hit tool. He can't hit lefties, which is going to be a huge issue. Obviously, the Jays already have a lefty second baseman in Will Wagner who can kind of hit lefties and righties, and then get Jimenez who kind of sort of hits the baseball at times. So there's that. Wagner also can't play defense. Horwitz can't play defense. Horwitz was not a good defensive second baseman. They moved him to first base, and he couldn't play there, so they put him DHing. So I like that. I don't know how well his offense holds up. Like, he'll be a league average hitter, but if it's only against righties, that's 100 games, maybe 90 games. So I like the move. I like getting a guy in Jimenez who's going to play 140 games, and if they lose Bo, Jimenez can play short, which is the position he was brought up in.
I think it's, like I said, I think it's a good move. It's all right. You know, it's nothing I'm going to be like, woohoo. Like, I'm not going to go to the moon about it, but it's a good move. What we came into the off season was a team that struggled hitting the ball. Our offense sucked last year, and our defense was the best in the league. Defense was never an issue. It's just like, it was a good move, like I said, but we're not answering the questions we had coming into the offseason. That's where I'm like, we got some bullpen guys, which is sweet. We're nowhere near like where I think we should be, but we've answered like the little things. It's like, I'm just like so confused. Like, what are they talking about? What's going on? Like, the Vladdy stuff we're going to get into is going to really piss me off, but it's just like, there was a clear objective, I think, for anybody, whether you're a fan or part of the management on this team. I think it was clear what they needed to do, and they like clearly haven't done it. At least the Yankees, they missed on Soto. They have went out and made some impact moves to try and make their team better, or at least watchable next season. We have not done that. With one of our best with our best player, who, by the way, we should sign for the rest of his career on the chopping block. He's just gone because no one's gonna fucking sign here because our management just fucking sucks. It's already pissing me off. I can't. I actually can't.
I do. I like all the people who believe the budget rumor coming from the Sportsnet guys. Let's just hold off on that for a second because they're Rogers employees, and guess who owns the Blue Jays? Rogers. They're told what to say. Okay?
Yeah.
If everyone else has reports that the Jays, the national guys, have reports that the Jays are going to spend money, they're going to spend money. They aren't going to walk into an offseason with $30 million of cap space and spend 20 of that on Andres Jimenez. Okay? I think that was a pretty obvious move that the Jays are like, well, we got money. Let's figure shit out and try and get the best players possible. So let's calm down a second, especially when they're in on guys like Corbin Burns and Teoscar Hernandez and Anthony Santander. Those guys aren't signing for a $10 million AAV contract. Like, those are guys who are 20, 25 million AAV, up to 45, depending on what you give Burns.
Soto or Ohtani, too. Ohtani and Soto.
Well, those are like unicorn budgets. But like, they're in on guys like, I don't know. I read that budget and I was like, okay, maybe if that could be like worst case scenario, we're at least going to spend $30 million on player salaries. But I read that more as like unnecessary. Like, if $30 million to upgrade other spot, like bullpen and like another random area, and then more to spend on like a starter or like a power hitting outfielder, Oscar Hernandez. But I don't know. It's just
makes no sense. I don't know what they're doing.
I thought Walker Buehler was a sick signing for Boston, by the way. A 1 year, $21 million. Are you kidding? I would have given him 3 years. I would have given him a 2 year $50. I was floating that around the other week. I was like, what if they just went to Buehler? Because I don't think Burns signs in Toronto unless they go short term, like 3 year, $120 million. But if you went up to Walker Buehler and you're like, here's a 2 year, $50 million deal, you can opt out after year one. Like, what are we doing?
What do we lose? Yeah.
Like, you don't lose anything on a 1 year deal if he opts out. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Especially when it's very obvious that Burns has no interest in playing in Toronto. He's clearly just wants to get $200 million from San Francisco. I would have just left the Corbin Burns stuff out. I'm like, hey, here's our offer, fuck off. And I would have gone, I would have signed, I would have thrown a 2 year deal down onto Buehler. I would have gone 5 years for Manaea. He signed a 3-year deal with the Mets. Are you kidding me? I would have gone 125 for Manaea. Like, I just don't get it.
That's what I'm thinking about this management. Like, they are so uneducated, like in what they're doing and what they're supposed to do. They literally look at the top guys like Burns and they're like, take all my money, and they don't look at a second, third option type of guy that could still fill out our rotation. We don't need much.
Yeah.
Like Manaea comes in and our rotation's a fucking one of the best in the MLB, but they don't see that. It's just like Burns or bust, and it's so frustrating.
They're attacking, at least, I don't know. This is a complete guess and speculation, but in my mind, they're attacking this offseason like it's 2021 and Vladdy's still locked down for 4 more years. No one wants to sign long-term in Toronto. If you were a free agent, where would you rather sign? Somewhere where the core players are locked down and maybe they didn't have a good year, or they're starting that rebuild and they're on the up and up, or a place that's at the end of that competition window. The 2 guys there are up in a year. They're gone. Like, I wouldn't want to sign in Toronto a long-term deal, so I understand why Burns doesn't want to. But they're attacking it like, oh, if we give you the most money, you'll come sign with us because we have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. But you really don't. Because at the end of next year, if you don't have Vladdy signed down, first of all, you fucked up. They're gone. Bo is not coming back. I don't think Bo comes back. I don't think Bo wants to play in Toronto, and I don't blame him for that. Vladdy, I think, feels undervalued, and that's a totally reasonable feeling with this front office, considering he went on a podcast, someone translated it and he said Ross Atkins didn't show up to his fucking arbitration meeting. The general manager didn't show up to the arbitration hearing. He sent his assistant, the person who collects his coffee. What are we doing? It's pathetic. I didn't want to judge the offseason until it was done. But man, the more I'm learning about like how Ross Atkins is attacking an offseason and how he's running shit, it's like, the fuck are you doing? He doubled down on defense last year. It didn't work. And you said, fuck it, triple. Take all my money again.
Yeah. It blows my mind, quite frankly. And I think obviously this might not be how they're thinking, but in my mind they're looking at Vladdy like, oh, he's not gonna leave. He's homegrown here. He wants to stay here the rest of his life. We're gonna give him 360 or whatever the fuck they think he's worth.
I have the jot notes here from the podcast that got translated. Gate 14 threw this on Twitter. So the first contract offer was after the 2021 season when he was 22 years old, runner-up in MVP, would have been the MVP if Shohei Ohtani didn't exist or didn't pitch.
120.
They offered him a 7-year, $150 million contract. Vladdy felt it was a valid offer, but he wasn't interested in an extension at the time. Then there was no offer in 2022. What the fuck are we doing? Then there was no offer after 2023. That makes sense. If I was Vladdy, I probably wouldn't have signed an extension anyways. He would have been lowballed.
Yeah.
Ross Atkins wasn't present during his ARB hearing. Pathetic. Received a recent offer, but it wasn't close to what he was looking for. He was willing to say the exact number he would sign for, but he was advised not to make it public. Confirms the reports of Carlos Baerga, who says the offer was around $340 million. That came after the Soto signing, not before, like it was reported. He has given the front office the number that if they put on a contract, he is putting pen to paper. So the front office knows the number that would make Vladimir Guerrero Jr. a Blue Jay for life, and he's still not signed. They know the number. If the number's not $766 million, what are you doing? You can't lowball a guy who's going to go out to the free agent market and make $600 million.
Yeah, I think. Oh man,
there's a deadline by the first day of spring training to negotiate. After that, he will not talk to them, and will have his eyes set on free agency. The numbers changed after Ohtani and Soto. What else? he's aware that he could be traded and he's ready for it. His hearing opened the eyes that this is strictly a business. When he sees that the Jays offered extensive contracts to Soto and Shohei, he thinks that the Jays may see something in them that they don't see in him, but he isn't bothered by that. Knows that the Jays have money, so now he's going to fucking rinse them dry, as he should. His plan is to go day to day in terms of negotiation until spring training. After that, it's only free agency. And then that was kind of it for that stuff. Then there's like other stuff on like why he moved to first base and blah, blah, blah. But if you know the number to make Vladdy a Blue Jay for life, and we walk into 2025 without a fucking contract extension, it's your fucking head, Ross Atkins. Yeah. It's your head. I've seen it on Twitter as a joke. It won't be a joke. There's Jays fans talking about recreating January 6th and storming the Rogers Center. If Vladdy walks, that will happen. It's
what
insane.
Else? Oh, like, I don't know. It hurts my head, bro. It hurts my head. It really does.
Just to think, if the Jays went up to Vladdy in the playoffs and went, here's 13 years, $340 million, which is, by the way, what I was saying as a number that I thought was very reasonable for Vladdy, and they did that before the playoffs ended and had Vladdy locked down. They probably save a minimum of $200 million.
Yeah.
This isn't just like a little bit of a blunder. This is a $300 million fuck up from Ross Atkins.
And quite frankly, I think Vladdy's right. It's a spit in the face to see him to come into one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive, like off seasons when it comes to unicorn, like, you know, Soto and all that. You know, why would you wait that long? Why would you wait for Soto to get his bag, see his best friend, one of his closest friends in the league, get a huge sign, like a huge fucking contract, and you don't even look at him? Like, I don't understand it. The contract situation up to this point seems like it has been a joke, and it seems like they haven't looked at him as like our guy. It seems like they think he's like a side piece. And it's so weird to me that they look at, like, what, a 24-year-old that's had 2 MVP-like seasons already, and they're just like, we got more important guys to look for. It's like, that is a spit in the face. Like, there is no way this guy walks. His dad, he was a Blue Jay. He came up. Okay, whatever.
His dad has signed a minor league contract with the Jays and then never played a game.
Anyway, okay, he was an Expo. Close enough. Canada. Right? Yeah. He was from Canada. He came up in Canada. This is our guy, homebred, like the biggest prospect coming up. This is the fucking guy you locked down. He proves that he's one of the best hitters in the league. Maybe he had like a few. Even his off season was a fucking great season, and we still look at this guy and be like, you could go if there's more important guys to sign. This is ridiculous. This is the worst thing I've ever seen as a Blue Jays fan. If he walks, I don't even know what the fuck's going to be left of this team after that reputation. Our reputation's gone.
It's
the management has to be
rebuild. Left. Like, it's another decade of darkness of like, what the fuck? Like, they got prospects on the way, but like the prospects are kind of built around Vladdy, if that makes sense. Like, we don't have a guy that, when I look at it, that can carry the offense like Vladdy can. Like, they got pieces coming up. Like, Elvis is going to be sick, right? However that translates to the big leagues, you never know. He's not generational. Arjun Namala is not generational. He'll be good, but he's not going to be generational. Addison Barger, I think, is the scariest out of those. I don't know what he's going to be. He's either going to be fantastic or dog shit. It's scary. It's like such a big. The floor to ceiling is massive, and like Wagner's gonna be good. Loperfito's gonna be good, but like it's not enough. It's not enough. And then they got fucked in the draft lottery, so they're not even gonna get a generational talent in the top 3. They're gonna pick 8. They're gonna get a guy who's gonna be like, well, I don't want to play here. And the hope, if you could tell, the hope is gone. There's nothing to be happy about. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say something else about Vladdy, but I don't really remember what it is now. Oh, we always talked that it was Ross Atkins should just go up to Vladdy with a blank check. And the roles are reversed. Vladdy just has to walk up to Ross Atkins and say, "Here's my contract that I'm signing. Put your fucking initials on it, so I can stay here as a Blue Jay." Because that's the only way it gets done at this point. Because I don't think Atkins is going to hand out the contract they want. They're going to stick to their valuations, and we're going to get it. It's going to be bad. We're not going to be able to walk after the fucking we get.
I think the worst part is talking about this is like, oh, we have guys coming up. We have a good minor league system. Like, it's, by the way, not even that good. But it's like, bro, these were the guys that we were waiting on. Yeah, our pitching is sick. But like, these are the guys we waited decades for. These are the guys we waited like 3-4 years when they first came up. This is like, oh my God, this is the team. You have them and you blunder them. There's no way. This will be a generational fuck up if they slip out of our system. I just don't see it.
It's hard to get blessed by one generational talent megastar. To get two of them at the same time in Vladdy and Bo and not win a playoff game and not have one of them locked down before they get into their walk here isn't generational. That's career ending. No team is going to look at Ross Atkins and go, come on down. Unless you're the Sacramento, Oakland, Las Vegas wannabe Athletics.
Yeah.
Who don't want to spend money and don't want to, like, dude, I wouldn't even want him leading the White Sox.
The Athletics have done a better job this offseason.
Yeah. Atkins isn't going to find another job if Vladdy walks, especially when it's revealed, when that number gets revealed, because you know it's going to get revealed.
Yeah.
Whether it's in day one, like whether it's opening day of the 2025 season or it's whenever Vladdy signs that long-term extension with whatever other team it is, that number is going to get revealed. That'd be like, in the 2024 offseason, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. walked up to Ross Atkins and gave him the number of 14 years, $500 million, and Atkins said no. And it'll be over. Like, that'll be just it.
Yeah,
no one will sign him after that.
If he doesn't sign, then Vladdy's getting traded this year. I mean, that's just... Yeah. Or they try to hold off and lose everything. Everything. I don't know.
Like the first 3 months are so big because if they aren't locked down, and say they don't sign Teo, say they sign Santander, and Vladdy and Bo aren't locked down, and say you're looking at a July trade deadline again, and the Jays are 15 games under, Vladdy and Bo are getting traded. You have to trade them at that point, and then it's an end. And we shouldn't have to trade a guy like Vladdy and Bo. We have the fucking richest owner. The richest owner in baseball, and we can't sign a lousy $300 million contract to a generational talent before he wants $500 million?
But Ohtani and fucking Soto could get $1 billion.
Well, can I say also something? That Soto contract makes Ohtani undervalued. I'll just say that. If roles are reversed and Soto hits free agency first of all, he doesn't get $765 million. He gets $500. But say he does get $600 million, and he hits free agency before Ohtani. Right. And then Ohtani hits free agency. Like, let's say this was the Ohtani year and last year was the Soto year. Ohtani gets $1 billion. And I don't think that's really an argument anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no,
to me, Ohtani's a way more valuable player than Soto. I know, no disrespect to Soto. He's the greatest hitter our generation's ever seen. He's like Ted Williams reincarnated. But Shohei Ohtani does two things at a very elite level. He pitches, so there's your ace. And then he's your cleanup hitter who steals 50 bags and hits 50 home runs. And he's now undervalued because Scott Boras is in this fucking world of baseball.
Yeah, it does. Soto and Ohtani have changed the market forever. Everyone's value just went 10 times. Like, What is a fucking Aaron
Woke up
Judge
$200
contract?
million richer after
Yeah,
Soto signed. It was insane.
what does a Judge contract look like if he was a fucking free agent
What does a
next year?
Trout contract look like if they when the Angels were talking extension with him? He probably cracked 600 now if he was a free agent.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
Bryce
it's
Harper,
ridiculous.
Manny
Yeah.
Machado, like those guys.
They're
Fernando
like
Tatis
sitting here like
Jr.
crying.
That's a
They're
sick
crying now.
contract. That Tatis contract's nuts now. Lindor is an undervalued contract now. Like that's a steal contract.
There's so many. Yeah, I don't know.
It's insane.
Like,
But
what can we do? We could just sit here and fucking. I'm not gonna sit
complain.
I'm not gonna sit here and like act like I'm not hurt because I'm gonna just never see a Blue Jays title in my lifetime because I don't know. Maybe that's the way it's going because I don't know. We were so close in 2015, and then Vladdy and Bo gave me so much hope, and now it's like they're pressing the reset button. It's like psych.
It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
No. Yeah. We lose like fucking half our team next year too.
Oh,
like
it's bad. There's 95% of this team isn't under control after 2026. Like
they don't know what
Barrios
the
can
fuck
opt
they're
out.
doing.
Barrios could opt out, which I definitely 100% he does. By the way, no way he sits. No way Barrios looks at this and goes, "I can stick around." Like he'd get way more money in the open market, which is a shame.
Especially if he goes out and balls again, like he deserves it. He's I don't know. This whole team's gone. Whole team's gone. No one's signing.
We're at a very low point in the offseason. I didn't want to jump to conclusions. I said this early on. I was like, I'm not going to judge the offseason until it's done. But I've never felt lower than this. There's still a way to turn it around. Like,
if fucking give Vladdy a pen.
If Teo signs, if you look at the Vladdy number and say fuck it and just bite it and go, and then fuck, you don't even need a sign burn. Say they trade for a mid-tier starter. We don't need the ace. We have 3 ace prospects that could be something. Okay?
Bro, I don't even want to be a contender this year. I just want you to sign Vladdy, sign one bat, and we're good. At least we have him.
A mid-tier trade. A mid-tier starting pitcher trade. I don't even need Tanner Scott anymore, man. Go get
seriously.
Fuck it. Go get Ryan Helsley and Sonny Gray. I don't care. If you do that and you bring in Teo and sign Vladdy long term, it's a win of an offseason. The whole outlook is different, but it hinges on fucking Vladdy.
Completely.
Well, actually, it hinges on Ross Atkins not being a fucking dunce.
And he's proven multiple times he's a fucking dunce. I hate his face. I hate the way he talks. It's
not fun. I'm seeing other teams address their needs, and I'm like, oh, that must be nice. Like the Cubs needed a power-hitting left-handed guy to play in the outfield. They got Kyle Tucker, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then, the Yankees were like, oh, well, we need guys. So they went out and they got 4 guys, and then one in a position they don't even need.
Exactly, and they should be the ones hurt most by Soto.
They're still not a good team. I sit on that hill hard. Yankees.
Yeah, but they're better than us.
Yankees are not going to be that good of a team next year.
But they're better than us.
Well, yeah, but everyone's better than us right now.
Exactly.
Red Sox are the best team in the division.
They're nasty.
They are nasty. Garrett Crochet, Walker Buehler, Tanner Houck, Brian Bayo, Cutter Crawford,
Danny Jansen.
Jansen's on the Rays.
Oh, yeah, he's a Rays, right.
That's the second best rotation in the American League East. Like, the Yankees have the best rotation in the AL East. Just on paper. I don't know how those numbers turn out. But on paper, the guys they got there are dogs. But they're off, they're going to lose a lot of 2-1 games because they don't. Bellinger is going to be a Joey Gallo. He's an average hitter now, unfortunately. He's just he screams Joey Gallo.
Judge will win you some games.
Judge will win him a couple games. Cole should be fine. Fried scares me as an 8-year contract. Those last 5 years could suck, which means you gave up 3 good years, which is whatever. If you get a World Series in that, the contracts are null after you win a World Series.
Yeah. I agree.
Goldschmidt, I am not I'm not that high on Goldschmidt for 2025.
No.
I'm gonna be real. I think it's just age is gonna catch up with him. I know
He's
he had a
already,
sick
it already
September
is.
and a sick second half, but I don't know. Devin Williams is good, but he's just gonna walk at the end of the year. He's already said he doesn't want to shave his beard. So,
Bro, I see all the memes of like players that like could sign to the Yankees, and it's like aura. Yeah, it's like aura lost is all I see on the Yankees. Fucking
dude, they made. Oh, I can't even say it, man. But yeah, like the Red Sox are the best team in the division right now. I say that wholeheartedly. If the Orioles had pitching, it would be them, but it's the Red Sox. Especially when they go out and get like a Gleyber Torres. They're going to be sick. And then they're probably going to sign like a Santander or something. Like, they're going to be sick. They'll win the division. Bookmark that now.
We'll just watch. Just watch.
Early prediction of the AL East. I go Red Sox, Orioles, Yankees, Jays, Rays.
Yeah.
I think.
Fuck, I could see the Jays as it stands being lower than the fucking Rays at this point.
The AL is so wide open. Like, if the Jays actually got a competent bullpen, like, if they went out and got a competent bullpen and then signed Teo, like, they could fight for that 6th seed. Genuinely. Like, I don't even say that. It's like, it's so wide open because, like, there's not really many teams that are, like, locks to make the playoffs. Like, the Twins, you don't know what they're going to be like this year. Do the Royals take a step back? How do they go forward? What about the Tigers? Like, where do they go? What does Cleveland do? You know, like, is Houston even going to be a playoff team this year? Like, they don't look that good. Seattle, best rotation, but shit offense. Texas looks good, but will they get injured? Like, there's no clear-cut favorite that, like, I don't even know. Like, the Rangers are the best team in the American League roster-wise, like construction of roster. But, like, I wouldn't be shocked if it's the Red Sox who end up with the number 1 seed. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I thought they were going to suck last year.
I could see Baltimore coming back, but, like, they won't do anything in the playoffs.
They got no pitching.
They won't do anything. Yeah.
Their pitching reeks. They have the worst rotation in the American League East. I actually feel for Baltimore fans. They have a sick core. Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holliday, Adley Rutschman, Colton Cowser. And then they got fucking no one to pitch. They got Grayson Rodriguez and my left nut. There's no one there. They signed a 39-year-old Japanese guy who's going to not do shit in the American League or in the MLB because they don't translate well in the first year, especially when they're in the... I think he's going to the retirement home next year.
39 is like a...
He's 35, but like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, okay. I was about to say 39 is fucking berserk. I didn't know he was 39.
Like, he's not going to suck. Like, he won't have like an 8 ERA, but it's like, he had a 1.3 in Japan, but that's going to translate to like a 3.8 to 4.2 in MLB. And he's penciled in to be their number 2. No. That guy genuinely goes bullpen if he's a Jake. Straight up.
Really? Think so, huh?
Yes. Bowden Francis, Kevin Gausman, Yariel Rodriguez, Jose Barrios, Chris Bassett. All 5 of those guys are better than Tomoyoku Sugano.
Oh, clip that shit. Put that on the TikTok.
All of them are.
Put that shit on TikTok.
Their stuff plays better. Like,
but I want
it's just
I want Oriole fans to be pissed off at you.
The talent level in Japan is
I
very widely understood as like in between AA to AAA in like the minor league system. It's why when you see a guy like an international free agent from Japan or Korea sign, 9 times out of 10 they have minor league options, but they try and get rid of that because they want to force a team to have to be stuck with them in the big leagues.
Yeah, cash in. Yeah.
Like Ha-Sung Kim stunk for 3 years. Like, that was not a good start for him. Ohtani struggled to come, like, when he first came over. Like, he struggled.
Right, the first season sucks,
He struggled hitting. Like, the jump is hard. It takes 2 or 3 years. And when you're 35, 2 or 3 years, you're sent back. Like, Imanaga is like the most recent guy. Like, he did well right away. Chung-Hoo Lee struggled a little bit at the beginning. Tanaka was like the last like big one that like jumped up as a pitcher right away. And Ichiro was the last major hitter that like came over without any bumps or hiccups at all.
Right. Yeah, but
Like,
he had
it's so
bat to
difficult.
ball.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just because
you're right.
It's a different game. They, we play north south east, the type of thing, and they kind of play a bit more east west. The velocity, like we throw, or not. I say we, like the North American game throws harder than the Asian game.
Everything.
The Asian game's more about stuff and like control, whereas in the North American, it's like, well, let me throw 108
and have stuff. Yeah, no, it's way more developed. I agree.
It's a more polished version of the game. It's not like a shot at anyone. Like, the better baseball players are Japanese baseball players right now. Like, Japan has the better international team because they have Japan's international team is just littered with guys who play in the MLB or should be playing in the MLB. Like, Yamamoto struggled right away.
Right.
That was, and he got injured. But
you're right. With pitching, it's risky, especially starting in the later years of your fucking life.
They try and teach you differently. Look, Kikuchi, great example. That dude was dog in Japan, and then he comes over here, plays in Seattle, doesn't pitch horrible, but he's not what he was.
He's serviceable.
Sitting at like a 4.5 ERA, comes to Toronto, terrible the first year, and then figures it out. Like, that's a 7-year process right there for a guy. And they teach you new shit here. There's so many more arm injuries. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to dog on the signing. I would have been happy to have a signing too. But,
give me anything at this point.
It doesn't move me at the point of, like, where I look at it and, like, that move doesn't make the Orioles a World Series contender. But, like, if they brought back Burns, I'd be like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll put you in second.
They were never, like one of those teams that were, like, Burns is, like, looking to return. I never seen that once.
I don't get why they don't want to spend. Like, did you see the quote from their owner, like the new owner / GM? He doesn't want to commit high amounts of monies to free agent players right now. This is the fucking time to do it. Your roster is cheap as shit. Everyone's on the renewable league minimum.
Yeah.
Like the only guy who's costing you money is Adley Rutschman, and it's not much. So I feel bad for Baltimore fans because, like, if their owner doesn't want to start spending money, they're just going to be in the same position we are in 4 years.
Yeah, they had, like, their peak was making the playoffs and going out early just like us, and they have to hit the reset button again.
Yeah. In 3 years, they're going to be in this seat where it sucks, and I feel bad for them a bit. Not much.
We'll see, because they're still they're still coming out of the playoffs. They were still really good at some points last year.
Yeah.
They are, like, they fine up their roster a little bit. They're just fine.
It's just they need pitching. Maybe I'm underrating their pitching. Maybe there's a couple guys in there that I don't know about. But, like, when I think of that rotation, like, it's Grayson Rodriguez, it's the Sugano guy. I don't know if John Means returns, and then I genuinely don't know what else they have in there.
Unless they call someone.
Kyle Bradish.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I don't know who else they have in there. And, like, I'm not saying this as, like, disrespectful, blah, blah. I genuinely, like, the Orioles they didn't have starting pitching prospects, really. Like, it was Grayson Rodriguez, it was DL Hall, and then he got traded for Burns. And now Burns is 99% gone.
Oh, yeah.
So I was shocked they didn't make the swing for Crochet. I thought out of any team, they had the best shit to get it done. I 100% expected Crochet to be there. So I don't know what they're doing.
I haven't heard much from the Orioles. They've kind of just slept this offseason. Tyler O'Neill, but that's
Tyler O'Neill, this Japanese starter, and that's it. Genuinely, they've had a worse offseason than we have.
Oh my gosh.
No, they have.
It's hard. It's hard to say that, like, coming in with the expectations we had, because, like,
At least we've addressed
realistically,
our need in a sense of grabbing relief pitchers, whether at the major league level or at the depth level. Like, we've at least kind of gone out that way. Like, if I'm an Oriole fan, I'm outraged in this offseason. Like, the biggest signings, Tyler O'Neill, then Gary fucking Sanchez.
I
Like, they
get
should
it,
be
but at the
out.
same time,
They should be pursuing Roki Sasaki. They should be in on Corbin Burns. I don't get why the hell they aren't on Corbin Burns. Unless Corbin was like, hey, you guys didn't score a single run for me in 8 1/3 innings pitched in the playoffs. And it's like,
yeah.
fine. But then you go trade for Garrett Crochet or sign filler guy. Like, they should have been all over Mania or Walker Buehler or Shane Bieber.
Those are perfect.
Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing? So I think they've had a worse offseason than we have. I also think the Rays have had a worse offseason than we have.
It's also situational though. I think we're in such like a desperate time, and we have not signed our superstars. And for us, long term, this is we've had a worse offseason. If Vladdy doesn't sign, long term, we have had the worst like offseason.
I think it still depends, because if the Jays roll, say Vladdy doesn't sign long term, but Teo comes in, they sign Corbin Burns, they grab Tanner Scott, and they fill out that bullpen. But
That's
like, say they do that instead, they fill the bullpen needs, they get that starting pitcher, and they get that bat. That's still a win of an offseason in a sense. Like, they addressed their needs to supplement the roster.
Our fucking terrible backing gets their shit together. I mean,
but
we've been waiting on the clock. You don't know how many hours I've spent on. I know how. You know that I've been on X because you've been on X too.
Okay,
waiting
hold the phone. No. We are gonna roll that one back right there. Who calls it X? What is wrong? Elon Musk lover get off? Like,
okay, no, I don't call it X, but I
the under the table. You have a gun on you?
Okay, Twitter. I've wasted so much time on Twitter this offseason, and so have you. Has anything happened? No. All these big names are off the table. What's going to change? Wow, yeah, I know. I was fucking.
I actually low-key kind of like the move too.
Yeah, we could low-key like the moves.
Jeff
but
Walker's sick too. Jeff Walker actually could be one of the best moves in the offseason. I'd say that genuinely, like, not as like sarcastic. He could be like. Jeff Walker is one of those moves that you make as like a contending team where you're like, well, we have a couple spots to fill. Let's throw a couple like minor league things out there. That dude, he has the potential to just be a really good like sixth inning guy, strike two guys out. Like, the whiff rate there is good. He's huge. He's like 7'7".
Right. That's great, but it's great. Like not what I'm looking for here. We're not a fucking World Series team.
But he could be a good bullpen piece, and we need a bullpen piece.
I love the optimism, but I really don't give a shit.
Okay, well, thanks.
I need more.
Right, as it stands, ranking the off seasons in the American League East, it's the Red Sox number 1. It's the Yankees number 2, because I don't like the players that they've gone out and got. It's the Blue Jays number 3. It's the Orioles number 4. And it's the Rays number 5. The Rays have not gotten better. Their biggest signing right now at this point is Danny Jansen.
Wait, you said this is including not signing Vladdy?
Yes. As it stands today in the American League East, the Red Sox have had the best offseason. They've gone out, they've gotten ace. They've got one of the best rotations in the American League East.
Right. Yeah.
Then the Yankees went out. They spent that Soto money elsewhere. They allocated the resources. Questionable on Bellinger. Questionable not going Walker for 3 years. They still don't have a second baseman. Why the fuck would they pay Max Fried 8 years, 200 whatever? Don't know. They didn't really need Devin Williams, but they went out and they got him anyways. The Blue Jays got Jimmy Garcia. They got Nick Sandlin. They got a guy to put in the lineup.
They had nothing, bro.
Then the Orioles, like Tyler O'Neill, and then Gary Sanchez to do what? Strike out?
And then a
guy who will throw 12 innings for them this year.
Right now, all I'm seeing is black. I don't see Vladdy signed with this team, and he's not going to. That is a major L for our whole franchise. That is the biggest L in a decade. That is
that we've had the worst offseason in the division.
It does for me. For me, it does because Adley Rutschman is going to stay in Oriole.
You would rather have the Rays offseason right now, where you've only signed Danny Jansen
Who cares about
and
the Rays,
Jimenez. So you would rather, if you would rather switch positions. You would rather have us only signed Danny Jansen and Eloy Jimenez, is what you're telling me.
No, I'm just saying.
So then the Rays have had a worse offseason.
Based on expectations, we have had a worse offseason. And it's not even close. Based on expectations.
Okay, yeah, no, on expectations.
Who the fuck cares about
the expectations?
The Rays just lost. The Rays lost
are playing in the Yankees minor league stadium. And they, you don't know this?
Wait, no, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, the Rays are playing in the Yankees minor league stadium.
I don't care. The just lost
biggest L is that the Jays didn't offer up their spring training facility to get more money from them.
Their biggest L was losing their superstar fucking player because he likes the minors too much. That's their biggest issue.
Oh, you're talking about the Rays. I was like, what
No. I'm saying, like, bro, they had their superstar. They lost him because he's an idiot. We have our superstar. We could keep him, but we're not going to because our management's like a bunch of idiots, man.
Did you see the Wander Franco stuff, like his lawyer?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, we have to delay the trial into June because Wander's got to, what is it, like, fucking show up to spring training. Everyone's like, for fucking who? Whose spring training is he reporting for? Because it isn't the Rays.
Yeah. And I hate looking at his face now. Holy.
Dude, man, I can't imagine Rays fans, the first time they spend money and it's on a pedophile.
Yeah. Now they got nothing again. They're so bad.
Dude, I'd give up if that happened to the Jays.
Vladdy was a pedophile.
Dude, I'd probably never watch baseball again. Low-key.
I don't know. I'm pretty damn close if they don't sign Vladdy.
It's rough, man. It's rough. I say I'd never watch it, and I know damn well I'd watch it again.
Oh, no, I know. That's right. That's it.
It's rough. But yeah, I don't know.
You know, watch like roughly 160 games next year. I'm going to be fucking pissed off.
Yeah, and we're going to go to a couple in person, pissed off the entire time because we're going to watch Vladdy's final games as a Blue Jay.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to pay this team money, and we're just going to hate life, man. It's going to suck. Oh.
Okay, without Vladdy, they're going to lose so much money, bro.
Without Vladdy, they might set their loss records.
Yeah.
Dude, they legitimately, you lose Vladdy and you lose Bo, their best offensive piece is the corpse of George Springer.
But whoever's the top free agent next season,
Vladdy
is going to get thrown. Okay, outside of Vladdy, because that's no longer an option if we get that far. Is going to get a bag from the Blue Jays just because they're like, "Yo, you're the top guy. Let's go."
I don't know.
We're gonna overpay by $200 million.
I don't know.
But Vladdy's gonna sit there and fucking get a max contract with the Yankees or Red Sox.
Genuinely might be Bo Bichette as the second biggest.
Not even depends. Okay, him. It depends how good he does this year.
Oh, be free agents. Let's figure it out. This is the. Sport Track is great. Spot Track's great until they throw in all these stupid fucking ads. Yeah, it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is like the top name that I'm seeing. Can I interest you in Cody Bellinger?
Yeah, they're gonna pay him fucking $500 million.
Trevor Story.
Oh yeah, $300 million.
Kyle Schwarber. Oh, dude. Oh, it does not look good.
Our team's gonna suck.
Josh Naylor's a free agent. Low-key, I'd actually be in on Josh Naylor.
I love Josh Naylor.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is a free agent. Oh, but it's an opt-out. He's not opting out. He'd be stupid, too. Luis Arraez, I'd be down for Arraez, but we already have a second baseman who doesn't hit for power. We have two.
The power's the issue here.
Tomoyuki Sugano's a free agent next year at 37 years old.
Oh, my God, man.
Paul Goldschmidt.
We're gonna sign
Bo
Paul
Bichette.
Goldschmidt. Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna scroll through a little bit more.
We're gonna give
Luis
Goldschmidt
Roberts got a
$500 million.
club option for $20 million. Like, low-key, don't know if the White Sox pick that up. Unless they trade him, in which case he gets picked up. What, can I interest you in Pierce Johnson? He's a relief pitcher for the Braves.
Oh my God.
How about Gregory Soto? We can sign Gregory Soto, and we can say we signed Soto.
Sign Soto. That's good. The Blue Jays signed Soto.
Oh, Ozzy Albies. Club option. Never mind.
Yo,
For $7 million. What a...
oh my
God.
God.
Are you kidding me? What a
fuck.
steal. How about Joe Ross?
Okay, fuck that guy on by the way on Twitter that posted Burns to the Blue Jays.
Oh yeah, the
that
fake guy. Yeah,
reputable fucking guy. Yeah.
How about Woo-Suk Go? I could sign a Woo-Suk Go.
Yeah,
we do suck. That's probably the best, biggest name. I don't know. Vladdy's the top guy, and genuinely, I think Bo Bichette's the second guy, and then to me, the third guy is Jacob Wagisback.
All gonna be ex-Blue Jays.
That honestly, free agency next year, dog shit. It's gonna be a bloodbath for Vladdy and Bo next year, man. It's gonna.
Why wouldn't he go to the market? I wouldn't blame him.
Vladdy could hit 700 with the open market. Look at how many teams need a free agent, or not a free agent, a first baseman. The Yankees need a first baseman. The Red Sox need a first baseman. Tristan Casas, whatever. Whatever. Vladdy could DH. The Jays need it. The Orioles could go for one.
Yeah. I mean, bro, at the end of the day,
no, they're not the Dodgers.
If you hit well over 300, having a horrible first half with 30 home runs and over 100 RBIs, you're getting paid.
Yeah, it's gonna be so bad. If the Mets don't sign Alonso.
Oh my God.
If the Mets don't sign Alonso, Steve Cohen's just gonna look at Vladdy and go, "Well, the Jays got you 600. Here's 750." You can't.
Holy, come play with Soto. Oh my God. And then there are
Soto and Lindor.
Holy fuck.
And probably Bregman.
Holy fuck. I can't.
Okay, well, before I put a bullet in my head, because this episode sucks, let's end it. Thank you guys for watching. I'd say I hope you enjoyed, but there's nothing to enjoy. And we will see you all in the new year, or unless the Jays sign someone between now and hopefully before New Year's Eve. Yeah, impactful. Teoscar Hernandez is the only one who's going to sign in that time period, if they do. So yeah, other than that, we'll see you in the new year. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out. Bye.
Bye-bye.